This universe is made of light and darkness. These ancient forces flow through all matter and energy in our solar system and beyond. But we haven't always known this. When the Traveler arrived in our solar system, they called it many things. A ship, a planet, a god. Its presence provoked and inspired great change. It terraformed several moons and planets. Our lifespans increased threefold. And we launched colony ships to settle worlds beyond our own. This was our golden age. But like all golden ages, it was doomed to collapse. The Traveler was pursued by an ancient enemy, a voice in the darkness. It found us. Humanity lost everything. With the last of its strength, the Traveler pushed back its enemy to create something new. The ghosts. In the dark times that followed the collapse, the ghosts chose the first Lightbearers. Immortal warriors gifted with the power of the Traveler's light. Humanity faced many threats in those days. Invaders from beyond our system arrived in droves. Pirates, called the Fallen, came to scavenge the remains of our golden age. The warlike Cabal came for our territory and resources for conquest. The Hive, ravenous worshippers of death, came to feed their infernal hunger. And the Vex, strange living machines, came to recreate our world in their own brutal image. We fought with each other as well. For a time, chaos reigned. Though in the end, we came together to rebuild, to heal. We built a city under the Traveler, the last safe city of Earth. In this city, humanity lived peacefully in all its forms. The humans, Earth's original inhabitants, the Exos, marvels of the Golden Age, and the Awoken, a people touched by both light and dark. Lightbearers took an oath to protect the last city. Over the centuries, they earned the title Guardians. The Titans, paragons of strength and bravery. The Warlocks, mage scholars trained in the arcane arts. And the Hunters, bold adventurers gifted with cunning. Guardians know that when they stand together, they are stronger. And now, new threats use our own powers against us. The Black Fleet closes in, edging us toward a second collapse. And our greatest adversary, the voice in the darkness, is revealed. A being of unimaginable power. The Witness. But all is not lost. Brand new Guardians rise every day to shape the future of our solar system and beyond.
When I think about being a guardian, I think about being part of a fire team. For me specifically, I think about being a fire team leader. I think about not only being a fire team leader for my friends, but also for my family. So many of my friends trust me with their guardians. There you go. Very good. Very good. Oh, you just killed your dad. The teamwork that really pays off, especially after a long period of hard work. To come in clutch in the big moments. I've been able to pass along my love of Destiny to so many friends, also to my family. Been able to game with my daughter. To be able to guide little lights is truly a treasure. But to me, the most important part of being a guardian is being kind to everyone that we meet. Your kindness and joy may spark hope in a darkness zone where light is fading away.
I think one of my most favorite memories with them so far is Val the Disciple contest mode. It's my very first time even doing day one raid. And we didn't get it, but it was a good time. Through my clan, they've helped me become a better person, a more confident person, a more confident player, and I wouldn't be the same without them.
Destiny ha sido una increíble experiencia y me ha ayudado a escapar de mi realidad. Acá muchos me conocen por mi apodo, Deus. Y gracias a este personaje he sido capaz de hacer incontables amigos, vivir experiencias inolvidables y atesorar también momentos dentro de la comunidad. Para mí el juego es más que simplemente lo que se ve en pantalla. Han sido las personas, las actividades, los hitos como jugador incluso, y la experiencia y todo este sueño e historia que hemos construido en el que hay un desarrollo de personaje.
Hi, my name is Lillian. I go by Lily Bean Cosplay on Instagram, and I've been doing Destiny cosplay for 6 years. I started playing Destiny in late 2015, and I just fell in love with the designs, the characters in the game, and I went to a local convention dressed as my hunter. From then, I kind of just wanted to keep going. I did House of Winter Fallen Dreg, Sweeperbot, Soraya Hawthorne, Anna Bray, my hunter character from Destiny 2. It always has to do with a character that I'm drawn to in some way from a design standpoint. If it's a character that has a bunch of LEDs or, moving arms or something, I look at it and say, how can I make this? Because I want to learn from it. I want to diversify my skill set with my Spyro's Associate costume. That's like a fully immersive costume. You can't see my face, I'm wearing a helmet, and I have 2 extra arms. Savathun was part of the Cosplay Cosmodrome event that Bungie did for Bungie Day, and being able to take a character whose design I wasn't super familiar with yet and create it in real life and then wear it, it was great. There's so many different groups within the Destiny community. You have artists, you have musicians, streamers, gamers, and I think that's really special, just to be able to show, like, this is what inspires me and this is what I'm gonna do to show that it inspires me.
I'm Dan, aka the Rat Kings crew. I've been playing Bungie games since Marathon 2, and I've been playing Destiny since it launched. I'm so happy to be part of such a creative and passionate community, and I can't wait to see what Destiny is going to do next.
Well, for somebody who's played from D1 to D2, what makes a Guardian is someone who, against all odds, keeps pushing forward, always making the advance, always moving forward. I was introduced to the game by a bunch of friends, military, law enforcement. I'm in the public safety field. Don't have a lot of time to play, but when I play hard. Long story short, a lot of those folks either got deployed, went to other jobs, or just didn't really see them anymore. Complained about the content and not having it vast. I've learned from D1 to D2, the game has definitely grown. And me as a diehard Guardian, I keep pushing forward because I have the confidence and the ability to see what's happening. And now here we are, still playing.
Hi, I'm Steve Saylor, aka Blind Gamer Steve. I'm a content creator and accessibility advocate and consultant in the video game industry.
My name is T Morris. People call me T, they call me T Monster. I also go by Twitch Dad.
When I started looking into wanting to stream, I had known this dude here for about, I think about 10 years at that point. And so I reached out to him. I was like, hey, you know what? I know you play Destiny. Would you be cool kind of helping me and guiding me through the game? I've never played it before.
This is when I gave you a little bit of honesty. I said, are you sure you want me? Because you see me play, so you know how bad my aim is. It'll be the blind leading the blind. And he went, that's what we'll call it.
All right, there's the Traveler. There's the Traveler in front of us. Let's go. Walk forward. Walk forward. I want you to enjoy this.
As someone who has a disability where it affects my vision, and it is hard for me to be able to play games in general, having someone take the time and guide me through being able to play a game and not try to rush me through things, that meant the world to me.
Where's that? All right. Oh, there he is.
Yes! Yes! In any other game, it's usually people don't want to play with a disabled person. Whereas with Destiny, I can jump in with T, I can jump in with my friends, and even when we just jump in with random blueberries in the community, we can still be able to help each other out, and that's why I love Destiny.
Did you shoot my friend? That was a bad choice.
It's all about being able to reach out and pick someone up and being like, we can do this together. And that is being a hero, is being able to lift everyone else up.
It's not about you, it's about the fire team. That's what makes a good Guardian, is when it's about reaching the end goal and reaching it together.
Hello, Guardians. I hope you are all doing well. Happy Bungie Day. Here's my 8-year story of me being a Guardian in Destiny. I started playing Destiny in Destiny when the game first came out. I was a Hunter main back then. Now I'm a proud Titan main. My favorite moments of Destiny will be my first ever raid that I've covered an LFG group and the friends and clanmates that I met and play with to this day.
Hi, I'm Gray, or Gamer Girl Gray. I am an Indian American content creator and community builder on Twitch with the motto Gaming for a Greater Good. I started my gaming journey in 2014 when two of my best friends gifted me my first Xbox. And I distinctly remember finding Destiny and staying up the entire night to play the game.
No, get me out, let me out, let me out, let me out, let me out. I'm dead, I'm dead. Not dead yet.
I found a place where I could be myself without any fear of being treated differently for who I was, how I looked, how I sounded.
No, you gotta be kidding me, bro.
When I came out to my community, it was such a monumental feeling for me to be able to see all these people flock together to make me feel welcome and safe and included. That was a feeling that I want to share with other people, this safe space. The charities are honestly a very big part of my stream because I see my content as a means to an end to fight for what's good in the world.
No, God, please help me. No, oh.
Building a happy corner of the internet is just about being able to lift people up in the few hours that they spend with me, creating something that people feel comfortable in, they feel like they can be their authentic selves in.
This game and this community constantly reminds me that we're not guardians just in name. We truly are bearers of light.
Being a guardian to me has shown me how important it is to stand up for what's right and to defend those who are oppressed and marginalized, just like Bungie continues to do every single day. So thank you, Bungie, for being real-life guardians to me and everyone else across the world. The way that you stand up for social justice issues and make sure that everyone in your circle is loved and cared for is truly inspiring. I know that it dictates the way that I live my life on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much, and eyes up, Guardians.
My name is Xavier, but you guys probably know me as Solarflare. I make 3D animated skits based off of content in the Destiny universe.
Prepare to return to being a god-killing, time-breaking, paracausal space cowboy.
At first, I created content that I thought was creative, stuff you hadn't seen before, things that would be funny situations, but I didn't know how to produce them. One of my friends suggested to me this program called Blender, and so I tried to learn it myself. I taught myself, I made a video. Solarflare was the main character, and it went from just being the channel name to being the name of sort of who I am at this point.
Okay guys, we have to be careful. Someone here is possessed by an owl. Who? That's the thing, we don't...
Usually, it's around 2 a.m. when I'm trying to go to sleep, my brain says, hey, it would be really cool if we went to sleep. But instead, what if we thought about a new video to create?
Hey, Bobby!
Hey, Steven!
The future for Solar, I'm really excited. I'm working on a script and a whole plot, a series of videos. I'm really excited to create an actual cohesive storyline.
So, turns out, Aldrin's sister was actually an evil possessed meatball that was controlled by a magical space dragon that was actually controlled by a hive queen.
The Destiny community feels like a group of friends that you may not live in the same area, but every time you go back, it's like you never left. When you get to know the people that you're spending your time with, not only does it make every moment with them more valuable, but also you might find yourself going to one of their weddings 5 years from now, just because you decided to send them a friend request after they danced with you in a Crucible match.
Are you really going to tell me that looks more like the letter V than a slice of pizza? He ate pepperoni!
It blows me away just how dedicated people are to creating things in this community. It's just so cool to see how passionate people are about all of it.
here's a guy, Savage Universe, who's been in the Destiny community for like 8 years running, probably considered now considered a veteran, and the fact that back in July 2014, I was curious about the game. I was curious about it, and very interested to see what this game, whether this is the game for me, and then to get to a point where I would get so many dungeon clears, raid clears, go flawless to the point where I even solo flawless trials. That was two or so weeks ago, and then to meet friends like Vixen, Tony, Long Live, Zoe, and then to be a mod for Miss Kenna because she's awesome. To have all of that in like 8 years, I wouldn't even believe you back then, but here we are, still living the Guardian life. Amen.
Hey, soy Colossus. Desde mis inicios como guardián hace ya 7 años, jamás creí que llegaría tan lejos. He puesto fin a incontables amenazas y he conseguido las armas más exóticas. También he explorado el sistema solar durante años en busca de las respuestas más enigmáticas. Y aunque las encontrara, seguía faltándome algo. Hasta que lo encontré. ¿Sabéis qué forja verdaderamente a un guardián? Los compañeros que están a tu lado en cada aventura. Ya sea tu escuadra o tu clan, ser guardián va más allá de uno mismo. Yo junto a mi clan he hecho de todo, desde partidas privadas que acaban en carcajadas, hasta culminar una incursión en su modo 24 horas. Si no fuera por ellos, yo no estaría aquí. Es por eso que mi mejor momento en Destiny fue encontrar a mi clan, ya que a partir de ahí, mi destino tuvo sentido.
want to say one of my biggest memories about playing Destiny happens to be the raids and a lot of the friends that I've made along the way. VoG is my favorite raid, and when it came out, I was ecstatic. Again, happy Bungie Day to everybody, and hope everyone's having a great one, and I'll see you in the stars.
Hey everybody, I'm Tej, and I'm a Guardian. What makes me feel most like a Guardian is being able to be me. We all choose to represent ourselves in different ways, and when you learn about someone's Guardian and the legend that they've written for themselves, it teaches you something beautiful about them. I strive to create a space online through content creation that people can just come as they are, and we can all just celebrate in this beautiful world that Bungie's created for us. There's something really amazing about being able to connect with people through a shared interest without the fear or anxiety that comes with thinking that you have to be something you're not, or thinking that you have to conform to a certain ideal or worldview in order to be respected or loved. So I hope that on this Bungie Day, we all can remember what it means to be a Guardian. We all can remember to rally around each other, to show the love, spread the good vibes, and push back the darkness. I'll see you out there.
In a world where you rescue heroes from other timelines and brawl worm gods with your bare hands, it's a battle of light versus dark, monsters versus metal. everyone versus Telesto in a lore-rich universe with an abundance of adventure and exploration.
But that's not just why we play, is it? Believe me, Nightmare Hunts give me quite the adrenaline rush, but my Twitter mention suggests you expect more. So, did you keep playing for the life-changing god rolls? Or the mile-high sparrow flying? The Nessus frogs? The day one raid nights with your friends where you spend 8 hours and still don't know what you're doing? The Nessus frogs? You must have had some inspiration, right? Probably the creators and streamers that helped you forget that time you dropped your pizza, cheese side down. Or was it the people creating a Destiny universe of their own with stories, art, and literally dressing for the job they want? Maybe you're here for the intellectual discussion, or maybe you're here
for the Space Horse.
Maybe you're here for the Destiny creators you love so much, Bungie actually got one to do this video. Hi, Mom and Dad. What I'm trying to say is, Destiny 2 is so much more than the game we see in trailers. While many joined for the fantasy, we found a home amongst its people. And in the endgame, we stayed for the discos, the DPS, the grenades, the bad bubbles, burgers, and tannics behind every corner. Trombone medleys, laser tag, tower names, yeehaws, the dings, the punts, the clutcher kicks, sweeper bots, stasis crystals, cheese spots, raid callouts, pub stomp, ramen, sliding, chicken petting, Galahorn, Sepix Prime, shiny swords, titan.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We are so excited to dive in and talk about just the kind of journey of being a massive Destiny and Bungie fan and what that's like to go from massive fan to actually working at the company that we loved so much. I want to learn about your journeys. How did you get started playing as a player, not as somebody who works here, playing Destiny, and kind of how has that relationship with the game evolved through the years? You know what, T, you and I, we've had many conversations with Session. I want to hear from you, buddy.
So I've been playing the game for a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Okay.
And so, as proof of my, the D1 Alpha veteran status, I have my raid belt here today. So this is my cringe moment where I will be proud.
It's nice to see one in person. I've only seen it on screens and screenshots.
Tell us a little bit about it. Like, how'd you get it? When'd you get it?
So that is the King's Fall World's First belt. Me and my 5 friends, we had, I say used to have, but I think we probably still have it. World's First of fun. Like whenever we were doing World's First races, it was supposed to be about having fun and showing off the new stuff. And for me, I always loved raiding just because I'm a problem solver by heart. Like that's also why I love working here, because that's what I do is I just kind of solve problems that are really complicated. But it's really exhilarating. And now is very fun being able to watch others suffer for 24 hours.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it is exhausting. So if you are listening to this and you are raiding, or if you're planning on raiding for a long time, drink water, stretch,
bathroom break.
Don't die.
Bathroom breaks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Don't let that heart rate get too low.
I'm very much with Sam on this in terms of the loving the problem solving and loving to get into that. I really fell in love with Destiny when I started raiding, and that was my moment where I was I grew up playing puzzle games and mystery games, and I love those types of games, and to find that in Destiny and to find that same sort of problem solving, but to do it with a team and to do it with your friends.
I'm on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm totally on the same page. The number one story for me around that is definitely Deepstone. Deepstone, I played all the way through Deepstone with my clan, which was amazing.
When you look back at the history of Destiny, there's so many moments like that, and I'm kind of interested on, is there any characters or story moments that really stick out to you from our history?
I feel like that's Destiny at its best, is when you are learning from it.
Yes.
At least for me, I feel like the journey of Eris. From D1 and being who are you? What are you doing here?
This is weird chick.
Yeah, it's super creepy, right?
Let's go.
Yeah, but I think seeing where she is now and then how she's really helped everyone else. A lot of people, I'm a huge Zavala fan. I'm a Titan. It's just in my blood. So for me, seeing Eris help all of these different characters, seeing Zavala come from where he is, which a lot of people, again, I know some folks that don't really like him that much, but to me, he always just seemed like a really, a father figure who's trying his best for everyone. When Cade died, right? I think people were like, what? Zavala, why aren't you doing this? XYZ. And then we got to learn more about him. So for me, Zavala is number one That his whole character arc, and then Eris and like her character arc, you're all insufferable to then like teaching everybody how to deal with their demons. I think
Props
is
to narrative
kind of
too,
crazy.
'cause-
Incredible.
Speaking to now and like through season 17, how Eris, she's like one of the epitomes of grief in her whole story, and how she evolved to something where she's like, I had to learn how to deal with grief on my own. And to see her evolve to a character that is like helping people go through their own grief. It's Bungie, what the heck? Like, how do you do
And
this?
how
Like,
patient she was. Like the fact that like when Crow would stumble or Zavala would stumble, she'd be like, come, take a step back. Patience. Healing doesn't happen overnight. And
exactly.
I think what we've seen in the last couple of seasons of the incredible narrative team and just diving deeper into all of the characters, I think that's one of my favorite things that we've seen from the kind of expansion from where we started to where we're at now, is just that deeper dive. And I know kind of where we're going with things, and just like the more that we're going to be able to dive into and hear characters' backstories and understand where they're coming from and what makes them, I think to everyone's point, it just makes it more than just a shooter game. You have that additional aspect of these incredible stories that we all connect with in different ways. And it just makes it, it's the Bungie magic, it's the space magic, it's the thing that like, that
then you do a little emote jig at the end.
Yeah, exactly. And it all somehow,
Valid.
and it
Calm
all
down, sweetie.
makes sense.
It's called Glimmer Guns.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, how cool is it like that we're here now? And I'm kind of interested, like knowing your long relationship with this game before you even worked here. And then that we're sitting on this couch, getting to nerd out and talk about the things that we love the most. How has that been making that transition? What was that inspiration that drove you to be like, you know what? I'm gonna put my application in. We'll see what happens.
This is my first gaming studio for sure.
Yeah.
It's getting into Bungie is interesting because I always wanted to be in tech. That's really where I started. For Destiny specifically, I played it every day, but I never really thought of it as a place to work until Black at Bungie. And so I reached out to a bunch of people on LinkedIn and was asking a bunch of questions. I was like, hey, look. So it was really amazing to be able to like get into the industry and get into Bungie.
Destiny for me was, that was back when I was streaming for fun. It was just a hobby, but then it became just a lot more to me because it has all these things I love about games, because I love RPGs and I love, you know, like the game feel of a Bungie game, right? When like you shoot that gun for the first time and it just feels good, you know?
Space magic.
Space magic.
Space magic.
Like,
And I always play the wizard, so I played the warlock.
you know, because that's all I want to do. I just want to cast space magic in every game that I play. So to me, the game's a lot. Like, it's kind of just, it gave me a career. It gave me like guidance in life for finding a community that I really love. And now I'm absurdly thankful that I can be a part of the team and hopefully make the game better to hopefully have that kind of impact on somebody else.
I knew that I wanted to work in gaming. I actually got the opportunity not from the Bungie career website, but from a Twitter post from
Good tweet.
a Twitter post. And I immediately sent a message and connected, and I was like, I want to talk about these marketing opportunities. And now I'm here.
Now you're here. You love to see it.
So, and it's just even now, just the fact that I'm sitting here, I'm just like,
you shot your shot, dude. That's what life's about.
Literally, I shot my shot.
You shot your
I'm like, this is what they mean, because you hear them throw that phrase around and you're just like, well, what does it actually mean to shoot your shot? And it's like, no, it's like, you're not going to respond on Twitter. It's like, I'm going to find you in other places.
Even if you have those moments of doubt. Even if you have that moment of fear. Because sometimes to making a jump like that's scary.
It's scary.
If you're scared,
absolutely,
do it anyway.
Yeah. The leap into Bungie was really similar to Will's story. This is my first role in gaming. So it was this like huge leap to, I had been working in marketing for a long time, but I really wanted to make the switch to something that I'm really passionate about and something that I love, because I think that's what makes work so magical, is when you get to work on something you really care about and you really, really love and you feel passionate about. So that for me was the kind of thing that pushed me towards shooting my shot and taking my shot a couple years ago and making the switch over to Bungie. And it's been incredible. There's moments like this where it feels very surreal,
right?
Where you're like, what is happening? This is very, very, just to have that, like, we all work at Bungie now. Like, we get to contribute to that thing that we all love so much, and that's incredible.
I'm sorry, but that's such a good point, because there's so many people that ask us like advice on how to get in, and I was rejected numerous times before finally getting that spot. And, you know, I know it breaks my heart because so many other people are in that same position and then they stop chasing that dream. Cause like, this isn't my first gaming job. I've been working in this industry for almost 20 years and as a journalist, and it was really scary to make that jump. I felt like it was right. I kept applying for narrative and, you know, granted, I sent them not appropriate fan fiction as writing samples, so I get it. Like, no hard feelings. I get it. And they were like, you know, it was just they were like, hey, we think you'd be a good fit for Community. Like, let's put you through that interview process, and we did that, and it was scary at first, but the more I kept interviewing, I was like, wait, no, this was made for me. Like, this is what I was supposed to do. And it was funny because all of that trepidation that first week left because I felt like it was family.
I'd like to think that Bungie gives space for that human condition, that human element. It's a place where I can feel like I can be myself. It's a place where I am being taken care of. And I'd like to think that, you know, we're not perfect and there's things we can improve upon, but we try to talk about those things.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It was honestly so much fun just diving into your stories a little bit, not just like as devs and working on Bungie's side, but as players before that and the journey into that. I'm really also excited for the upcoming showcase. So I'm gonna need you all to meet me in the back. We're gonna do a blanket burrito and we're gonna hunker down with some popcorn, okay? Let's go.
Deal. Let's go.
So ready.
I'm excited.
Blanket burrito, yeah?
Yeah.
Blanket burrito.
All right.
Comfort. We're
Let's
both
do
comfort
it.
here at Bungie.
Hello, old friend.
What? They're like corrupted gold. No. Are they using supers?
That's what I want in Destiny. I want darkness.
I just got chills.
This is everything I've ever wanted out of the story.
Multiple G-Force.
Oh my god, I love it.
Boom. Dang. Growth is nasty, son. Your life is forfeit. No! Woo! The Leviathan is back. A scythe? A freaking scythe!
Where he's got us. He has given himself over to the witness.
Yay!
That was hot.
Sir, are you okay? Oh, you look nasty.
What the frig? Is that the witness? Man, that's crazy!
Welcome, Guardians. So awesome to be here with you again.
Last time we got up here, we got a chance to show you Savathun, the Witch Queen, and her majestic throne world.
Since then, it's been a wild year for Destiny.
You returned to the original Loot Cave to reclaim the fabled Gallarhorn.
Then, you exorcised an ancient evil from a Hive Queen, so you could put it inside a grenade launcher.
And now, you've been spending the past few weeks cleansing a derelict Leviathan from its twisted nightmares.
In fact, the last year has been the best year we've ever had in the Destiny community. I hope you can feel it as well. And seeing this kind of reaction from our community, it's both humbling and inspiring.
Because our team here at Bungie, we're not just developers, we're also guardians. We're trying to build what we'd love to play in Destiny, and that's what brought each one of us here. Brought us not only to Bungie, but also brought all of us to this final showdown between light and darkness.
So, without further ado, this is the beginning of the end. This is Lightfall.
When they see this glorious end, they will come for us. To savor the fruitless
I've seen that thing 100 times now, and every time I see it, I still kind of get goosebumps.
Instantly, I had chills. It's all here, it's all happening now. Things are finally coming to a head.
Thematically, we really have been honing in on that kind of bombastic, big set piece approach.
It's gonna be over-the-top action, adrenaline pumping, like the whole time.
This is really kicking off the conclusion to the Light and Dark saga, where we finally face down this foe that we've been anticipating facing for so long. It's pushing it to 11.
We've been hinting at this malicious force in the darkness that's been our enemy behind a lot of our conflicts. We revealed that enemy, we put a name on it and put a face on it, and that enemy is the Witness. And the Witness is coming with its newly empowered disciple, Callus.
Callus is really crash landing with a new and more powerful army than ever before. They've got new powers, they've got new armor, they've got tormentors to join their ranks that are going to be bigger and badder enemies than we've ever faced. Callus is taking that army that he's bringing with him to be the harbinger of the Witness's doom.
This is such a pivotal moment for Destiny. Everyone is coming to have a last stand with Callus and the Witness to really avoid the next collapse, something that we've been trying to avoid ever since Destiny 1.
We see in the trailer that we're headed to Neptune, and on Neptune there's been this hidden city called Neomuna where an alternate version of humanity has been blooming since the collapse.
Neomuna is the capital city of Neptune. It's a giant metropolis that we were completely unaware existed until now. What's interesting and exciting to me about this place is that it's pristine, it's new. It's not like a lot of the places that we've explored previously in Destiny. Exploring that space is very, very cool.
There's so much new stuff to discover in Neomuna and in Neptune. And also I saw some new characters there. I'm really excited to get to know Cloudstriders and their story.
Cloudstriders can be compared to Guardians. They're both protectors of a civilization that's potentially under threat. But Guardians were chosen. It's their duty to protect humanity. Cloudstriders have chosen to protect their people.
There's like an awesome opportunity for the Guardians to learn from the Cloudstriders and their way of living and their philosophy of life.
So we've got the newness of that city, the newness of the Cloudstriders that we've never been aware of.
And then, of course, you get a glimpse of this green energy. I wonder what that is.
Strand is the new darkness power that we discover here. Something that's unique about Strand, unlike any of these other powers we've ever had before, when you play through Lightfall, you are discovering this power for the first time. No one in the universe ever in the history of Destiny has used Strand before.
This is the Guardian discovering darkness on their own and learning how to shape it and manipulate it and use it against Callus and his forces and, you know, have fun in the new urban environment of Neomuna. You are really gonna have to prepare yourself for a wild ride.
We just got a glimpse of our new destination, Neomuna, our new foe, Callus and the Shadow Legion, paired with the Witness, and a very brief glimpse at Strand, but that's just barely scratching the surface of what this release has to offer.
Right, like what we've just seen in that trailer is just the tip of the iceberg, and we've got a whole lot more we're excited to show you coming up.
Last year, we wanted to return to our studio's roots in creating some of the best shooter campaigns in the industry.
That's been our legacy since Halo, and we tried to push that front and center in The Witch Queen.
And it's about more than just guns, but creating an adventure in a handcrafted world full of surprises. Then, we added the Legendary campaign option, because great combat needs to challenge you, to test your thumb skill, your tactics, and your build crafting.
And we heard loud and clear that you want more of that. In fact, 2 out of every 3 players that completed the Witch Queen campaign did it on Legendary.
You tested yourself against the Witch Queen and her Lucent Hive and rose to that challenge. And then you let us know it was one of the best shooter experiences that we've ever made.
So with Lightfall, we want to push that even further. We want to give you the best Bungie action experience that we can create with the brand new Lightfall campaign.
Lightfall is going to change the way that our players move, fight, and explore everywhere in Destiny.
Neptune is this fantastic destination. The capital city of Neomuna is a really fun place to explore, and it's this bright neon metropolis. There's a harbor, office buildings, an arcade.
This is a city that we've made, and using Strand to traverse through it and explore it, it's going to be so exciting.
There's some places that once you whip out that grappling hook, ooh, you're gonna be able to explore and get to places that you couldn't before.
Look at that up there. I wonder if I can grapple to there. I'm gonna be a kid in a candy store.
It's not a city that is collapsed. It is a city that has lived through the collapse.
Neptune now has to deal with the cloak being pulled back and them being revealed to the world and are now central of the conflict.
Callus has taken his capital ship and just like planted it right down in part of the city, and it's Cabal-occupied territory. It's a city under siege. You've got this infiltrator vibe at times where you feel like a tactical team going into a skyscraper. You're dealing with Cabal roadblocks and patrols all throughout the city. The Shadow Legion, they provide that like characteristic Cabal brute strength. They're all about like volatility and power, and they've been enhanced now by Pyramid technology. They have these suppression devices that can take away some of your super, or take away some of your abilities, and then they fight alongside these terrifying new Pyramid units called Tormentors.
As part of his discipleship to the Witness, Callus has been upgraded, and so the Tormentors that they've brought in are these impossibly huge, unstoppable behemoths. They wield scythes, they can attack from a distance, they can bring you in close, they can drain your very life force from you. They are basically embodiments of terror.
It's like a boss character within the battlefield. Your stomach drops. You're like, okay, I'm playing through, I'm having fun, I'm popping heads, doing this thing, and then boom, there it is.
We've got all the new stuff going into the game. Strand, Tormentors, Shadow Legion, a cool new environment. These are all a great setting for a new Legendary campaign, and we're still making sure that we go through and we tweak and tune and we balance the encounters to have that right challenging level of difficulty for players.
The Legendary campaign was a huge hit coming out of the Witch Queen. It was the first time we had done that sort of elected difficulty where you could really test your skill and test your power. And so we're going to bring that back for Lightfall.
Of course, you're still going to have that higher reward tier, and we still want to make sure that you get that inside track towards being raid ready.
Everyone back at the studio is so hard at work on Lightfall, putting in the details and making this whole release come alive and continue to surprise and delight players. I am so excited to get this out.
Lightfall is unlike anything players have seen before in Destiny, and it's another step that sends you hurtling to the conclusion of the Light and Dark saga.
Come on. Amazing.
I'm super excited to dive into Strand and talk about all the new stuff that we just saw.
Strand, like Stasis, is a power from the darkness. Unlike our light abilities, which are all about creation, darkness is more about consciousness.
Strand is psychic energy that forms this extra dimension, or this sort of matrix that connects everything together, connects all living beings and all minds. And you, the Guardian, are sort of gaining the knowledge and gaining the power to peer into this alternate psychic universe and begin to pull at these threads and tug at these wires that are connecting all of these living beings.
When Guardians learn how to use Strand, it's almost like this third eye opens up. It's about peeling back the curtain of reality, taking those connections and then weaving them into new objects.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool to see them come together. Like, it's always been there, and now that we can tap into it, we can use it for our benefit, whether it's through movement or through damage.
Strand has a grappling hook. Since you're seeing into this cosmic web, you are able to grapple at any point because the cosmic web exists everywhere. Even if there's not an object there, it will hook on to that web and pull you forward. It's just taking that idea to the next level, putting that Destiny spin on it.
Yep. The grappling hook initially started as part of the Hunter's Kit, right? They're all about fluid movement, rapidly traversing space, and being very agile. But as we were developing, it's like, oh man, this feels like it's too much fun to just keep it to one class, right? So we made the call to expand this super cool new ability across all 3 classes. On the design side, we wanted to come up with how each of the classes interpreted this additional psychic dimension, like in their own way, right? So the Warlock, they're the telekinetic master of Strand. So they're going to be able to telepathically reach into the Strand dimension, pull matter out, and weave it into this big barrage of these Strand missiles. Wherever they land, these missiles are actually going to unravel, sort of reweave themselves into a new form.
With the Titan, you're able to weave these claws and do an area of damage around you, spinning and slashing.
The super I think I'm most excited for is the Hunter Rope Dart super. The Hunter does a flip and weaves these strands into this rope dart and is swinging it as they're kind of moving around. The first time I saw that, even in its kind of like rough state, it just blew my mind. We've learned a lot from creating our other subclasses, and we've taken those learnings about combat, about movement, about build crafting. We've put that all into Strand, and I'm so excited to see where players take it once it's out there in the wild.
Destiny is a game that gets even better when you play with your friends. We want to create communities that are welcoming, inclusive, and that let you bring your old friends and make new ones. And since last year, over 5 million new Guardians have joined our ranks.
We believe that there are still millions more of your friends that would love to play Destiny with you. And the things that you want to see us improve in Destiny are also exactly what's going to make it easier to convince your friends to come and check out the game.
It should be easier to create custom, incredible builds. Easier to find people to play with. Easier to swap from being that boss-melting, storm-chaser-wielding, falling star juggernaut right into that ultimate yee-hawing, dead man's tail shooting, Titan's rampart crutching sentinel.
And if none of what Joe just said makes sense to you, we want to fix that too. Because it's not about removing the depth that makes Destiny so great. It's instead about allowing everyone to dive deeper with ease.
The changes we're making to make Destiny easier to come into, changes to how you build your characters, changes to how you see what there is to do and what there is to accomplish. And in the year ahead, we're actually making it easier to form groups in Destiny so you can go and do some of the greatest content that Destiny has to offer.
All the teams are working together to build this experience, and so that's what's really exciting.
We keep on hearing from players like, hey, unless I have a friend to play with, I don't know what to do. And so what we're trying to give them is like, hey, here's a path to follow. Guardian ranks are basically like a knowledge ladder. We actually progress you through 11 ranks. And it's really like heavily focusing on like exposing players to all the systems of Destiny.
At some point, the story about you as a Guardian involves other Guardians and what they think about you. That is just a whole new dimension of your journey through Destiny that we've never really explored before. When you show up in the tower and you see that person who's at one of the highest ranks, you're gonna know that you're looking at a player who's actually really demonstrated mastery of many of the different activities in Destiny, not just from our perspective, but from the perspective of other players. Some of the higher Guardian ranks will actually be asking for you to step up, to actually rise to the occasion and prove to other Guardians that you are a strong player and a strong leader.
A lot of people have groups that they already play with, but this will really provide people the opportunity to be recognized for helping other people learn the game, but also provide more people to play with on a regular basis.
In the year of Lightfall, we're going to actually be investing in building a looking for group system in Destiny itself. You'll be able to look for other players, you'll be able to find groups that are looking for players.
I'm so excited about being able to form groups in the next coming year because can be really hard to get through some of the hard content solo, and making it so much easier to find people to play with is just going to make getting into Destiny and doing the awesome content so much easier.
Yeah, and they'll be able to say, this is a player who I can trust to lead me through the new raid. I want to join their group. Or they can say, these are players who are new to the activity. I want to take them for that first raid because that'll be a great experience for them and a valuable experience for me as a leader.
It's really going to help players come together and understand each other better when they've never met before. It's going to make the game so much more social, and I think that it's going to really make Destiny players feel like they're on one team.
So commendations is a feature that you'll experience towards the end of an activity. So you end the activity now and you get to see the screen that has all the people you played with. You can click on one of the Guardians and choose what experience you had with them. So like, were they a good team player? Were they fun to play with?
There's no better way to actually show how good a person is as a teammate or as a leader than to have other players say, this person's a great teammate, this person's a great leader. It's really a system that's designed to let players show appreciation for each other.
Also, using the commendation system, people are going to be able to say like, hey, this person as a good leader, and looking at the Guardian rank system, they have a lot of experience. It's going to be, oh, that's the person I want to help me get through this hard content that I've been struggling with.
Social games like Destiny give you an opportunity to like really connect with other people and do things together and get to know each other. And with a system like LFG, you're making it so that more people can get that experience started than ever before.
Both the loadout screen and the mod manager are completely new features.
The mod manager is meant to make build construction in Destiny a lot easier.
We all love our fashion game. The fashion game's amazing. And so we're gonna take what we did for the fashion game and we're bringing it to the Buildcraft game. There's gonna be one screen where you can go to and do your entire loadout for your character. It's gonna be amazing.
So you'll be able to save the build that you've put together as a loadout and then switch between those things as you're going from activity to activity.
Yeah, I feel like with the new release of Destiny and the commendation system mixed with Guardian ranks, we're giving players even new aspirations. It isn't going to be just about power level. It won't just be about gear. It's also going to be about that Guardian rank. It's going to be about those commendations. It's all the ways that we're bringing players together.
So today, we are also launching a brand new season of Destiny 2. And as we've evolved our seasons over the years, we've learned a lot. And I think we've been able to deliver some amazing character moments and events for the community.
We're long past the era of content droughts. Instead, there are exciting story and events happening in Destiny almost every week, year-round. And we're not slowing down.
Each season, we want to keep raising the bar for narrative experiences in any live game. We want to keep pushing to create unexpected adventures that'll make every season of Destiny unique. And we want to keep listening and learning from you, the Destiny community, so that we can create the strongest seasons of any live service.
Because the Witness is coming. And if we want to survive, we need a crew. We need to enrich our defenses. If you're feeling surly, maybe even loot our enemies.
We may even need to find a captain to join us on our next adventure in the Season of Plunder.
Aramis has broken free. The old crews now rally under her command.
I've read about them. What is the human word?
Pirates. The full vanguard should be rallied to deal with these outlaws.
Well, anchors away.
And go show those pirates what happens when they crush Spiderhead. Hope you've got ammunition, Guardian.
Time to blow this rickety barge. boom. Sorry, getting a little swept up in all this adventuring.
What are you most excited about for Season of Plunder?
Pirates. This season, we said, what if we just go to the stars and dig up buried treasure?
We are unearthing a lot of mysteries and secrets. We're swashbuckling onto enemy spaceships. And then we're also learning a lot of things about some of our favorite characters.
We're gonna have an adventure this season.
Season of Plunder kicks off with Aramis being freed from her icy prison. She's collected old, fallen crews of pirates and rogue cabal together in order to hunt down mysterious relics and treasures.
It's time to meet your end.
So Guardians are tasked with stopping Aramis from collecting these relics. And in order to do that, you have to create your own crew of shady dealers and backroom brokers.
Drifter, Mithrax, Ido, and Spider are going to be helping you.
Anchors away. Ready when you are, Captain.
That's the beginning of Season of Plunder. What you're going to be doing is forming a pirate crew of your own. You're going to fill it with different crew members that you can recruit over the course of the season. Drifter is going to toss you the keys to your personal catch. Then you're just going to set out into the stars and do cool pirate stuff.
So excited.
This season, we have multiple brand new activities coming that will really give you a sense of being on a pirate adventure. One of the mainstays of this season is a new 6-player offensive called Catch Crash.
When I saw the concept for the catch with the big mainsails on it, I just said, oh my God, this is gonna be a fun season.
Just like seeing Catch Crash through the different iterations, like fighting on the deck of the ship.
You get to become your own ammunition and launch yourself from a cannon to the other ship, and you are the weapon, so you're gonna go mess them up.
The second big activity we have coming this season is called Expedition. You're going to be guiding a massive drill that's looking for this buried, hidden pirate treasure, and you're going to have to be fending off of all these pirate crews trying to protect their hoards. And then our final new activity coming this season is what we're calling Pirate Hideouts.
We have so many different little maps that you can piece together fragments of this season, and they lead you to the lair of the Pirate Lord, right? Their hideout.
These are their caves where they're hoarding all of their amazing treasures and their mysterious relics.
These relics are mysterious objects of dark power, and they're all over the system. We don't know exactly what it is they do yet, but if Aramis is trying to collect them, it's nothing good.
Taking the opportunity to line the ARC 3.0 update with the Fallen, it just ended up working out perfectly because you got all the simple ARC weaponry and the ARC shielded captains. It feels right with that release, almost like we planned it.
ARC is a damage type that's about proximity, right? It's about going fast up into your enemy spaces and deleting them. It's the damage type for people that want to hold W. You don't want to retreat.
Unbridled aggression to the max.
Hunter is really about close range action, being fluid and dynamic and agile, evasive. So we're gonna give Arc Hunter a new super. We call it Gathering Storm, where you summon your Arc Staff, twirl it above your head and then launch it out, and then it will embed into the ground or into bosses or mini bosses or champions and jolt them. Like a big lightning strike will strike the staff and overcharge it. And while that staff is overcharged, it'll start Tesla coiling little lightning bolts out at nearby enemies. Warlock is kind of this elemental conduit. You are a class that will turn yourself into lightning. You will create things out of lightning. Previously, we had this exotic armor piece called Getaway Artist, where you consume your grenade and it'll make a what we call a sentient arc soul that fires faster and does more damage as a result. So we decided to roll that into base arc soul behavior. Anytime you are amplified, any arc soul you have from any source will become the supercharged version that will fire off just rapid fire bolts.
Titan's about being this unstoppable freight train. It's about this constant movement. So we gave Titans a new movement option, something that we felt like is going to be competitive in this new environment of air dodges and air slams. That's a new ability called Thruster. And it's all in first person. It's all very much in the heat of the moment you see it happen. Its whole property is like rush down or getaway. It's a movement tool to the max. There's gonna be this new melee ability called Thunderclap, which is like an amazing thing where he like charges his fist, all super flashy. It's our first ever charge melee, so you hold down the button, and as that cocks back and charges up, you'll end up doing more damage and getting a little bit more range. And speaking of like the whole goal of deleting things, I believe in PvP a full charge is a one-shot kill.
It is, oh yeah.
It's a little skillful to like pull off because you're gonna have to really read your opponent here. The whole through line with Arc is like, it really isn't that complicated. It's move fast, hit hard, and stay alive.
What I'm most excited about in Season of Plunder is that this is really a season that has a sense of adventure. Yeah. You're exploring the system, you're looking for pirate treasure, pirate relics. You're seeing the world evolve in a way we haven't done before.
I love that with the activities in the season, like we just leaned really hard into the pirate fancies. I love that we have your own catch. I love that you're tracking down buried treasure and then going after the pirate leaders in their caves.
The interesting thing about Destiny is we're not just a fantasy game or a sci-fi game, we're kind of a blend of both. We take inspiration when we say pirates, it's old world pirates that you would see traditionally back in the 17 and 1800s. We have like a flintlock pistol, we have an exotic fusion rifle that plays different than fusion rifles you've ever seen before.
It's just like end to end, just really leaning into that spirit of like the pirate adventure. And let's also make it so that new players coming in can actually jump in and get started. The gift of the Thunder Gods is a starter kit. It's a set of armor, it's a Thunderlord exotic weapon.
So jump in, join your friends, set sail, become the captain, and build your crew today in Destiny.
Man, it is so awesome seeing King's Fall return to Destiny.
Yeah, actually, King's Fall was the first thing I got to work on at Bungie. And I'm thrilled that a whole new generation of Guardians will get to experience this refreshed and reloaded showdown with the Taken King.
So, we've shown you Lightfall. We've shown you the new damage type, Strand. We've shown you some of the deeper changes to the game that we're going to be making throughout the next year. But we have one more thing that we are excited to announce today.
Destiny is coming to the Epic Games Store today.
Epic has been an absolutely fabulous partner to work with. They love Destiny. And we are just huge fans of what they've been doing in the social game space. When we first started working with Epic, we sat down and talked about the impact that their games have had on us. And they had a bunch of the same stories for us.
They shared stories about playing the Vault of Glass and how much they enjoy the social experiences in Destiny. And I got to talk about the summer of Fortnite Chapter 1, Season 5, when my whole family was laser focused, taking turns in the island to unlock Drift.
In addition to launching all of Destiny 2 on the Epic Games Store today, for the next week, if you download the game on Epic, we will give you the 30th anniversary for free. If you haven't earned your Galahorn yet, or you haven't played the Grasp Dungeon, come to the Epic Games Store and you can jump in for free.
We want to welcome all these new Guardians with a celebration, one that stretches a little further than the last city. few years ago, we shared our plans for the Light and Darkness saga. This journey, years in the making, is coming to an end. Since we started charting our own course, we've been building this story. Across 5 years of expansions, since the first pyramid ship emerged in Shadowkeep and we first spoke to the darkness. Then, across Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and coming up in Lightfall in the final shape, we're building towards a climactic collision between the powers of light and dark.
We've also been working on the Destiny engine behind the scenes, preparing our technology and our game to last for many, many years to come. Because Destiny 2 is not going anywhere, and neither are your expansions. We want this story, since we first communed with the darkness on the moon, to be fully playable, start to finish. And we're happy to announce today that we are not planning to sunset any more expansions. We want the Destiny universe to grow, and we're going to continue to do everything that we can behind the scenes to keep that possible within our game engine.
But enough about the distant future. Let's talk about today, the best day all year to jump into Destiny.
Yes, because if you're looking to catch up, right now, all expansions are free to play for this entire week on every platform for everyone.
Right now, Season of Plunder is live, and the Helm's got a set of supercharged art gear for anyone looking to catch up on the fun.
Destiny is live on the Epic Games Store. You can download it for free, and you can get the 30th anniversary pack as your welcome gift.
And if you liked what you saw about the future, right now, pre-orders for Lightfall are live on all platforms. And anyone who purchases the annual pass gets the exotic auto rifle Quicksilver Storm today.
Today is a perfect day to play Destiny.
So we'll see you in game.
When they see this glorious end, they will come for us.
I've read about them. What is the human word?
Pirates.
Let them come and see.
Hey Guardians, and welcome to the Destiny 2 Showcase post-show. Oh, I hope you're having as much of a good time as we are, because it is so good to finally share all the things the teams have been working on so hard behind the scenes. We've got Arc 3.0, we've got Space Pirates, we finally have Drifters saying more than 2 words. It's a beautiful thing, and we've got some really cool stuff lined up. Before we get to that, I want to say what a pleasure it is to welcome to the stage the one, the only, D-Flawless.
Hey,
how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me. It's such a blast to be here. Like you said, we got Pirates, we got Arc 3.0, we got Light. We got so much stuff to talk about. I can't wait to dive into it and just go over everything.
Go ahead and give us your best Drifter impression. Go ahead.
Pirates.
Pirates. I love it. I love it. It's going to be great. We've got some deep dives with some of the developers that are responsible for the beautiful world of Destiny. We've also got a live gameplay stream later on with some of the team as well, which is going to be a good time.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Hopefully nothing crazy happens.
No, we love crazy here. We're Bungie. Come on, let's go.
Well, never mind.
But speaking of deep dives, you actually have something coming up, right?
I do.
What you got?
I got some members of the dev team here with me, and we're going to be talking about some of the new stuff that's coming to Destiny 2. What's going on, y'all?
Howdy, Flaw. How's it going? Thanks for joining us.
What's going on? All right. So last time we did this was Shadowkeep, and Dado was here. And let's just address the elephant in the room. All right. There was a popular meme made, and I don't have a notebook like Dado did. I have cards, okay? So you can't meme this. All right?
Solid.
We're safe.
We're safe.
All right.
Good to know.
How's everybody doing?
So good.
Good.
Happy to be here, man.
Awesome, awesome. Let's go around the table and let's have everyone introduce yourselves. Let's start with this lovely gentleman to my left.
Hey, everybody. I'm Joe. I'm the game director for Destiny 2.
Oh, hey, everybody. I'm Dan. I'm the general manager for Destiny 2.
I'm Taylor. I am the senior test lead for Season 18 and Season of Plunder. And yeah, excited to be here.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm the project lead for Destiny 2 expansions.
Hi, I'm James Tsai. I'm one of the creative directors on Destiny.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you all so much for being here. So let's just kick it off. We're all just talking. We're all just having a good time. What are we most excited for?
Neomuna.
Neomuna?
Yeah. Neomuna. It looks so good. Did you guys see that trailer? It looked so good.
I'm very excited.
I'm very excited. I think in general, like in Destiny, we've went to very different destinations. There are very nature ascendant, and I think I'm really excited to just see what a up to date, like super futuristic neon city looks like, and I'm very excited to just use the grapple on that. So, yeah.
Grapple. Yeah, go.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say the thing about Neomuna, it's really cool because, as Kat was saying, we've gone to a lot of like abandoned places, a lot of nature ascendant places that are falling apart or overrun. But Neomuna is like this. It's a civilization that the people believed in, and it was worth protecting. And it really embodies like the positivity and the hope and the optimism that runs at the core of a lot of what Destiny does. So it's a really cool place.
I think I'm excited for how different it feels from where we've been before. What Kat and James were saying. I think last year the team was sent on a mission, and we said, "Can you make a really cool swamp?" And they're like, "Okay, yeah." And then they're like, "Okay, we've gotten really good at this like swamp making." I was like, "Great. Now make a city, right? Like now make like futuristic, like something that's never been done before in Destiny, where you feel like minutes before you got there, it was functioning, right? Like people were thriving in this place, and that's just a place that we've never been before in Destiny."
Absolutely. You guys killed it with the design. And did I see this correctly? Are we getting destructible environments in the game?
So the game is like all about like blockbuster action, big fun sequences there. And yeah, there's definitely like some locations, some places where there's gonna be a lot of like things blowing up, a lot of visual flair. It's not like the kind of destructible, like dynamic destructible stuff where you're like gonna blow like a new path in the level and be able to like take a different route than you thought you could. But it really adds a lot to the mood and stuff to have like these things blowing up all over the place. It really complements the theme of the release.
Yeah, I think for us it's about really highlighting some of those moments, right? You're gonna place the rally banner down, and just a sea of Cabal or Vex is going to pour out, and then suddenly glass is flying everywhere and brands are going right. And that's that moment that we want. And then they're like, okay, yeah, I think I earned that, you know, those 2 treasure chests for my encounter there. I'll be on my way.
After all the explosions.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's the trick, right? Like, it's a war zone, right? Like, I know we've been at war, and I know we've been protecting the last city, but to Joe's point, we just spent, you know, the last year in the swamp kind of playing detective. And this is, the battle is there. It's huge. It's larger than life. So there's things blowing up. There's the constant struggle. It's just a very different vibe. I'm super excited for the action of it.
Who doesn't like blowing stuff up? I do. So we talked about a little bit. Tell us more about who we're going to be encountering on Neptune. Who are we fighting? We saw some Cabal.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is, you know, the Witness has pulled in and sent Callus, right? You probably saw that concept of Callus's, you know, in classic style, the big pyramid ship with his own sort of effigy crowned on it. And so there's going to be a lot of Cabal. And then there's also this sort of Vex undercurrent threat of Neomuna as well. And so that's an interesting thing that players will sort of discover, you know, what they've been dealing with for the past. But on top of that, I mean, you know, Callus is back, loaded up, really as a disciple of the Witness. And so...
Is it really him?
I could say with like 97% certainty. It's like Callus and not a robot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely probably.
But yeah, it's so cool because you know, we've been seeing like a ton of stuff going on with like Kaiatal and stuff in the past few seasons and things, and we're starting to explore like more of the backstory of like the Cabal, find out more about them as a combatant race. It's just really exciting to see that happening, like the Destiny universe continuing to grow, and Callus, like, we're gonna find out, like, why he's, you know, signed on with the Witness. What does he want? What does he hope to gain?
Yeah, but speaking of which, though, but like, even though it's 97% Callus, and it's the Cabal, but it's not the Cabal we know, right? Like, as becoming a disciple, Callus got some upgrades. So like, there's a different Cabal we're gonna be fighting. There's different flavors to it.
And I think the biggest, you know, upgrade, it's not just the Cabal. There's another unit of the pyramid coming with the Cabal, right? And the Witness said, hey, you're going to need some help. And that's what we call this the Tormentor, right?
Tormentors. Those things look terrifying. What can you tell me about the Tormentors? I'm excited to go up against these guys.
They are terrifying.
They are terrifying. We can tell you that. Yeah, so the Tormentors are a new pyramid unit that will be joining the Cabal and the forces of the Witness this time around. And they're basically bosses in the battle arenas that you will encounter throughout Neomuna. They are, as you said, terrifying to fight against. They have different phases, and they're really like, scary mini bosses.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we called them like terrifying Grim Reapers, and these things are awesome because they're like the first like pyramid units that are like in the core combatant sandbox now that you know, so that they're gonna anchor like a lot of tough encounters, and they have a bunch of different ways they can hit you, right? They have like this like side thing, we called them, you know, like I said, our terrifying Grim Reapers. So they throw these like side like projectiles at you. They can rush in and like, you know, like grab you and stuff, and it's just like, it's a completely different experience fighting them. It's a really, really fun kind of like.
They're living up to their name.
Yeah.
Can't wait to get tormented by some tormentors.
I like how terrifying Grim Reaper was the throwaway term. Like, that's not scary.
This is Grim Reaper, but worse. And we also have another new character type. What are we calling these Cloud Striders? What can we say about these guys? Are they friend, foe?
Yeah. A little background on the story of Neomuna. So during the first collapse, there was basically a ship that was able to escape, and that's how the society in Neptune started, and how Neomuna as a city came to be. They basically have been preparing all these years to avoid a second collapse and make sure that all their citizens are safe. As part of that, there is this class of people who actually are volunteers. And it's a very different paradigm from what we know as the Guardians. The Guardians are basically chosen by the Traveler to defend humanity. With the Cloud Striders, they actually volunteer to go through a bunch of cyber enhancements and really be ready to protect the citizens in the city. And so that's a very heroic thing to do. And we're going to be able to discover more of their story and how they came to be. But also it comes with a cost. Like, they actually shortened their lifespan for about a decade as they are Cloud Striders. And so you basically have 2 at a time, one who's mentoring the next one, and we're going to see some of those things play out in Lightfall.
Yeah. What I sort of love about the Cloud Striders is they sort of form this mirror for the Guardian in a bunch of ways. You know, we think of Guardians as the only heroes for the solar system, but the people of Neptune have come up with a different way. And you know, you take yourself as a Guardian, you know, this 6-foot mystic hero, and then you stand next to one of the Cloud Striders, and you're like, oh,
I'm small.
Yeah, and every one of the Cloud Striders looks like they're hitting the gym, you know, morning, noon, and night, and they have a very different approach to combat maybe than our sort of like tactical view or mystic powerful view. They're all force all the time.
Yeah, it's a beautiful juxtaposition, right? Like you have the Guardians, as Kat said, that were chosen, like, you know, chosen for immortality and but still for defense and protection, versus these Cloud Striders that opt in to shorten their own life, the antithesis of immortality, to sacrifice their mortality also to defend. And it's interesting to see, like, to explore how those two different societies play out and how they approach battle and how they approach combat. It's gonna be really awesome to see it play out.
That's awesome. So speaking of combat, we have a new energy type, Strand. Tell me everything about Strand. I want all the details.
Grapple, what else do you
I mean, it's green. You saw it was green. Like,
it's green. There you have it.
That's the bulk of it.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things for Strand, you know, is it's the first power where your Guardian is the first person to ever encounter this. It's sort of a thing that you're learning about, and you have mentors that are helping you learn more about it, but you're really on the front lines of this sort of new darkness power and what does it mean, and then I think how that gets, you know, translated into gameplay is this high mobility. We really love the thought of the cosmic web, right? Behind all of us, there's this web that connects everything, and Strand is about touching into that web, and that's why Grapple can grapple anywhere, right? You don't need a point. Yes. The web is everywhere. You find the web and pull it towards you, and how the different classes sort of, you know, make this web come to life, I think is going to be really interesting for our players to discover over the next few months as we start talking more about it.
Absolutely.
And it's been something that we've been exploring on throughout the whole campaign, is also your Guardian's journey in discovering Strand, as Joe was saying, and how we can learn and utilize this new darkness power is part of the story that we're gonna go through with players, and so it's been really cool. As a Titan, I'm very excited about doing the Titan thing and actually hold Strand and have like a whole AOE.
What's with all the punching?
Whoa, they're claws now. They're grafted on.
Excuse me.
This is a refined punching.
Gotcha.
So yeah, super excited about Strand, and I think one thing that I really want to make sure that we highlight is what Joe said. Like, you don't need a grapple point to use the grapple. Like, you can actually grapple onto anything, the air or whatever you want, because we are using this cosmic web that permeates the world.
Yeah. That's really good for me, because as a hunter who regularly overextends himself into like every fight and is just like after 2 seconds like, I gotta get out of here, that grapple has saved my life a lot of times.
Sweet. Can't wait to get my hands on the grapple. We also talked about the legendary campaign in the showcase. Is there anything new to the legendary campaign coming, or can we expect some of the classic rewards that we got last time with the getting us raid ready and things like that?
Yeah, I think from a reward side, you know, we're following a really similar story. I think we're going to give you the awesome, you know, gear at the end of the campaign to get you up in that powerful band. We're going to let you choose one of the new exotics. This time, we're making sure they have high stat rolls on them. But in addition, because you're unlocking Strand during all this, we're also going to give you a little bit of extra Strand currency. So if you do the legendary campaign, you're going to be able to earn 1 extra fragment right off the bat. But I think the differences really start to come less in the rewards and more in the campaign itself. If you look at the Witch Queen and what we did in the campaign of the Witch Queen, I sort of like to compare that to the Corrupted Strike, right? There's like a little bit of nuance, it's a little bit creepy, there's some mechanics going on, and you get to play with a little finesse, right? Each thing is a little bit surprising. Really what we're doing in Lightfall is like the Proving Ground Strike, right? You're like, hey, you want to shoot a lot of people, right? Like, do you want to get in there and fight just a ton of Cabal? I think the thing, we're going to have players go through the Legendary campaign, and when you hit that wipe screen on an encounter, sometimes you see the report, and you're like, whoa, how many? Did
I do that?
I think you're Joe, not many.
Oh, shots fired.
I mean, Legendary campaign has been such a joy to to bring into the Destiny universe the past couple of releases. Just getting back to that that smart combat that you you have to make choices. You can't just be James and rush in and then try and grapple your way out of trouble. You have to actually think about where you're going to stand, where you're going to aim, what your loadout is. How are you kitted out for this fight? And to see the designers at Bungie just spend so much time thinking about all the different dimensions of the encounter, all the different ways that a player can pick it apart, and the different ways that they want players to be able to make progress in it or push back on the players. There's just so much loving handcrafted work that goes into designing these encounters. It's just been so much fun to watch.
And honestly, just because I'm probably I'm definitely the most recent person to Bungie, I think seeing that, what James is just saying about the love that goes into crafting all these experiences has been absolutely just fascinating and just endearing, honestly. As a huge Destiny fan, and now having the privilege of honestly working on my absolute favorite game in the world, it's amazing to see how it all comes together. And sorry, I'm going to stop or I'm going to get emotional. Go.
Good.
Sure. Taylor, let's. What are you thinking about the Strand abilities? What are you excited for in Lightfall? What are you thinking you want to jump into?
I feel like most, except for James, we're all Titans here, right? No?
Warlock.
Wow.
No.
Okay. You know
Listen,
what?
I've seen.
There has to be.
I think we're the only Titans, really.
I think the biggest problem with being able to see the internal stuff is you see all the armor sets really early, and then you're like, okay, what class am I playing this time?
Yeah. Especially, the aesthetic. That is always all about the fashion and how your abilities will kind of mesh with. I'm all about aesthetic fashion, so it's nice to kind of fit that in with your subclasses.
Well, fashion is the real end game, right?
Oh yeah.
So we love fashion, we love Destiny, we don't want it to end, but we've heard talk about the end of this light and dark saga. What does that mean? Is Destiny going away?
No, Destiny's not going anywhere. I think the easiest way to think about the end of the Light and Dark saga is the end of a chapter in a much longer tale, a much longer book or series of books or something like that. This is a great moment in time in the history of Destiny and in the history of the world, and we want to tell it right, and we want to have a satisfying conclusion, but a conclusion to that chapter, not the story of Destiny.
I think we've been, for a long time, we've been setting up this, we've got this big white ball in the sky, the Traveler, and we've got these big creepy pyramids coming from space. And we want to make sure that we're always making good on those stories, right? We say, hey, you've been waiting for this. We're going to give it to you. And then we're going to go to a next chapter, and we're going to be able to move beyond that in the Destiny universe and talk about new, exciting ideas.
Awesome. So Destiny is forever. You know what else is forever? Fortnite. Epic? What's going on?
I mean, why wouldn't we want to be on Epic Game Store?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, one of the key pillars of Destiny that our ambitious goal that we try to hold ourselves to is we want to be able to play this game anywhere. Right? And just Epic Game Store is such a huge step in that direction. There's so many amazing gamers that are over there on that platform. And we're big fans of Epic, we're big fans of all those games. We're super excited today to be able to bring them, just bring Destiny to all those players who may not have experienced it before. And also worth mentioning, if you do go on Epic Game Store today and sign up, you do get the 30th anniversary pack that we launched last year for free.
Wow.
Forever.
Wow. I'm super excited to see all the collaborations, Epic, Fortnite, Fall Guys, all that. But before we get into that, there's some other things, very exciting things that the community's been asking for a long time. LFG's coming into the game. You finally did it. Give me the story behind this.
Yeah, I mean, Dan just talked about it, how important it is for us, for the Destiny 2 team, to make sure that Destiny is like a social game, and a game that like it's so easy to jump in and just like either play with your friends or find new friends to play with, right? And so LFG is really a step in that direction. And so making sure that we have a really good system in-game where you can jump into your favorite raid if your clan is not available for some reason, or you're actually looking for a clan, I think is going to bring a lot of those experiences to way more people than it currently does. And so it's super exciting that we'll be able to bring that in next year.
I think one of the most exciting things about LFG is the way the team is approaching it, right? And they want to make sure we have the right foundation, because we want a really stellar LFG tool in Destiny. And so, what's coming first with Lightfall is this thing we call Guardian Ranks. And Guardian Ranks for us it's this journey from the absolute new light player all the way to a Grandmaster, like PvE All-Star. And you can go through these ranks and it'll show you, hey, here's what you need to do next. Oh, you've mastered that? You should try some of this stuff. You should try learning about build crafting. Okay, you should try getting into dungeons. You should try getting into a little bit harder strikes. And we think of that as really as the base for LFG, because when you want to go to LFG, you want to know that the people that you're looking to build your raid team with, your dungeon team with, your trial team with, you want to know they're ready, right? And so Guardian Ranks really is this thing that you can say, like, hey, I'm ready. Like, I've done all the stuff that shows I'm ready for the raid.
Stats.
Yeah, and I think between Guardian Ranks and accommodations, we not only have the tools that are hopefully going to say, hey, I know I can build a good raid team in this tool. We also have encouraging people to go down and say, hey, let's take this person on their first raid, right? Let's bring them up. Let's get them up to the next level of Guardian Ranks. And so I'm really excited about how the social team is addressing all these things, because it's really important. We love the sort of unmatched made content in Destiny. We want to keep it challenging and engaging, but we also want to build those tools that are going to allow you to get into that content and say, oh yeah, I've done the raid, right? I've done the, I've gone and mastered some of the coolest content in Destiny.
Yeah, I think there's like a lot of cool elements that, like Joe's talking about, where it's like, it's showing you what you need to do to, to progress, how to spend your time. Another property I really like about Guardian Ranks is that as you move up, it forces you a little bit out of your comfort zone. It's getting you to try new things, to maybe do new things, like new activity types, to try and put yourself out there like a little more in terms of like, like the aspirational content, or trying to do some social things, to keep your growth and your journey in Destiny like moving forward at all times and not falling into like these like the same patterns over and over. So there's a lot of just really cool effects having like a Guardian Rank system, that has on the player.
Yeah, and one of the last things I think that we're really hoping the system can do is, Destiny can be an overwhelming game, not just for a new player to get into. Hey, there's so much stuff. What should I do? Also, if you're taking a break and you're coming back, and we really want the Guardian Ranks to be this place that you can go where you're like, what should I do? There's so much to do in Destiny. What should I do? And you can say, okay, I should work on this.
Wait, you're allowed to take breaks?
You are allowed to take breaks. And I think this is a really important part of Guardian Ranks, is that even if you have friends who are playing, but like you're coming back to the game or you're brand new to the game, that's probably a place you can point them to. And it's like, why don't you just follow like this? And it's probably a great path for you to ramp up. And then Joe also mentioned commendations. And one of the really important things about building a game that's inherently social, and we want it to be, is to make sure that our Guardians are in their best behavior and are being super helpful to the community. And so commendations after every match-made activity is actually something that will be able to reflect that, where players will now be able to send commendations to each other and reward players for their good things that they did in the game. Either they were helpful, or like they were really good at PvP, or whatever it was. And so that system plugs into Guardian Ranks, and I think it's going to be really a highlight of the system.
Yeah. The once you get past all of the, hey, I've done all the content, there's a few Guardian Ranks at the end that are all actually about that combination.
Wow.
It's all about starting to say, okay, you've proven that you can do all this. Now prove that you're a person that other people want to play with. And it doesn't always have to be that you're the most amazing raid leader. It can also be that, like, whoa, Kat's just like super dependable, right? She's got like a good attitude, and like you look at her lane in Vault of Glass, and you're like, yeah, it's handled, right? Like, and I can always count that like what's going on over there is on the up and up.
Is there like a comic relief one for those of us who are really just good on chat?
Yes.
Good backpack.
Yeah. I'll take
Good
it.
at riding the backpack.
That's right.
I want the troll commendation. I'm leading somebody off a ledge somewhere, put it in the game. All right. So one of the things we're going to get our hands on, well, now, Season of the Plunder is here. Arc 3.0 is here. What do we have to say about Arc 3.0? There's so much cool stuff to get our hands on. Taylor, what do you think?
For Arc 3.0, it's touching like all things Arc, and so like one of the things that is really cool about Arc 3.0 is you can bring in older Arc weapons that have been your favorites. Mine is Trinity Ghoul, and like
Good choice.
having that like synergize with the new Arc 3.0. It's something that I think we're really excited to see everyone playing with Arc 3.0, being able to, kind of build up and craft their own style, and seeing like what people come up with in the next few weeks. And I'm just really excited to see how everyone handles it. I'm really excited for like the Titan Thunderclap. I cannot wait for that.
Titans get another one-shot ability.
I'm just excited. I get to throw my arc staff.
Yes.
Finally. I cannot tell you how many times I have popped that thing, gone twirling, gone after somebody, and they just just jump over me, and I just go right off the ledge to my doom. Now with like being able to throw the arc staff, like I have like a whole nother way to just like miss and like be totally ineffective with my super and get laughed at by everybody. It's like it's
Hunter
it's so
struggles.
cool.
Hunter struggles. Warlocks have a cool new ability where they turn into a ball of lightning.
Yeah.
I mean,
why not?
It's normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Let's just put that in the game. And so also Blink is back on the menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
How great is that?
I mean, I'm excited for the people that love Blink. As someone that is constantly the victim of people that are in, a PvE jumping puzzle, and like, oh, don't worry, guys, I'm great at Blink. And then we're just sitting there, we're on the King's Fall tomb ships, we're looking down at them, and you're like,
you got it,
you
buddy?
Sure? You sure you're great at Blink?
Oh, man. So Arc 3.0 is here. We got Season of Plunder, Pirates. Let's talk about the narrative theme of this season. Why pirates? What are we doing?
Why not?
Why not? I know. I realize I set myself up for the why not.
I mean, yeah, who doesn't like pirates? I think that we've seen time and time again in pop culture, like we're always so fascinated with like the pirate fantasy of like action, adventure, peril, a lot of that unknown on the open seas, and that felt like we could really merge that into the Destiny universe and make it make sense, because there's always looming danger in the universe. Like there's so much empty space. You don't know what's lurking out there. And I think it's also a really cool way that we can tap into some further stories about like Drifter and Spider, and how they've had like these run-ins with the unsanctioned side of the galaxy, and kind of just finding a little bit more to them, and some deeper dives into their personality and their characters.
Yeah, pirate mystique is just a real thing, right? Like, and when you have, to Joe's point before, right? Like we have our sphere good, triangle bad. Like we have very clear images of what's on what side of the battle. Having something that is neither, having something that is that like, you don't really know where it's going to go and is unsanctioned, to use your words. I just think that's really exciting. It just adds a new dimension to the struggle and the conflict.
And Pirates is really like, it's classic Destiny. Like the Fallen are spider pirates.
Yep.
It is time that we make good. When you say this is a fallen captain, you're like, a captain of what? And you're like, of that.
And Aramis is back.
You see that pirate ship back there?
Yeah.
I mean, but that's a true statement, right? Like ships are always cool. Pirate ships are cooler. Like it's always are. There's a cool thing about the pirate aesthetic that I think the team just nailed for this release.
So can we talk about the aesthetic a little bit? Are we getting pirate hats? What are we going to be wearing as pirates? Are we going to get to do the full get up?
Oh yeah, yeah. We, as the fashion lover here, we get the hats. We get some slick coats. I am a Titan main, but I have to say the Warlock set is so cool. We kind of are fashioning our armor sets based off of like some of the pirate fantasy of like captains or swashbucklers, and so you're seeing a lot of hats, you're seeing a lot of coats, a lot of like shiny buttons and like doodads that are just attached to your armor, and it's I'm so excited. I am going to wear so much pirate gear.
All the pirate gear.
Do we get parrots?
You know, I don't. Yeah. I don't think we get parrots. We do get crewmates though. So.
Okay. Did parrots survive the golden age? They're different. Someone call Julia.
Parrots, pirates, you know. So we're looking good. We got our pirate gear on. What are we chasing after this season?
A lot of loot. I was gonna say a lot of booty, but a lot of loot.
A lot of booty. You heard it here first.
So we have some. We really leaned into the pirate fantasy. So we have an activity called Catch Crash. Try saying that 3 times fast. It is a challenge. And it is essentially you are having a shipboarding crew, and you launch yourself over to the enemy ship. You fight your way through to the captain's quarters, and then you beat up that fallen captain and and get that loot. And then we also have expeditions, and it is 3 different activities where you're kind of going, plundering and finding treasure and glory. And then we also have hideouts, and those are 8 different activities where you go in and you are, getting rid of some scurvy dogs in those hideouts, and you're uncovering some long lost artifacts. So it is really kind of hitting home on that, like, pirate adventure of like getting some lost, long lost loot, getting some glory, meeting some fighting and fortune in there.
Super cool, super cool. So we know we're gonna get some new story stuff this season. We know we get new story stuff coming with Lightfall, but the day-to-day gameplay loop of Destiny, what's coming to Strikes, Gambit, Crucible? What can we say about that?
Yeah, I think the good news today is that we've got Cathedral of Dust coming back to Destiny today. We've got a new PvP game mode coming soon this season called Eruption. Next season, we are hitting the old competitive playlist pretty hard. We're doing some matchmaking stuff, and on top of that, we're getting focusing engrams coming to Shaxx, which I think will be a pretty exciting thing. And then as we sort of get into season 20 and Lightfall, we're really turning our eye towards Zavala and the old Vanguard playlist, with focusing coming to him. We are refreshing some strikes, which is the first thing that we've done. This is not like an old strike coming into Destiny. It's a D2 strike that we look at and say, I think those could use a little bit of love. And
like the Shadows.
Yeah. And so you may find out about some of those coming in. And then we've also got some really exciting changes just coming to Nightfall and stuff overall that we'll talk a little bit more. And then, of course, next year, you should expect reprised PvP maps and new PvP maps coming as well.
Yep.
Sweet. So what else are you guys excited to talk about? I mean, one of the cool things from the trailer that we saw that we didn't get to touch on really, we've been talking about fashion, and the changes you guys made to the fashion interface was amazing. That's now coming to loadouts. Can we talk about that some?
I have a nice story to tell, because I remember interviewing for Bungie, and it was like, if you could add one thing to Destiny, what would that be? And I was like, loadouts. And everyone was just like looking at me, because again, I wasn't hired yet, and I was just like, And then you know, as we saw, loadouts are coming. So it's very exciting. I think it's something that like every Destiny player has wanted to have in the game. And so I'm very excited that not only like you can have multiple builds, but also the fashion game is kind of introduced in part of that experience. And so it's going to be super cool to engage with.
Yeah. Also worth mentioning that like much like some of the third-party apps that exist, the loadout system will be able to pull your gear from anywhere. So you don't have to make sure you're carrying all the right stuff. You can switch it up on the fly. You can pull from other characters, the vaults, etc. I think it's going to be pretty big for player quality of life and just enjoying the fashion game.
Yeah,
Very nice.
I think what James was talking about earlier when he was talking about those handcrafted encounters in Lightfall, I think one of the things that I'm really excited about was, you know, playing through the legendary campaign of the Witch Queen, it could often feel like, hey, the tax of switching up what I'm using is so high, I'm just gonna find one good build and I'm gonna hope that it lasts, and unless I hit a real roadblock, like we're gonna keep sailing. You know, with all the light subclasses getting 3.0 and with loadouts and, you know, the manager coming along, I'm really excited for players to, you know, boot up Lightfall, set up all their different possibilities, and then go into these missions. And if they fail once, say, you know what, I think I should use Void for this, and then just press the button and be on their Void loadout, and then just hit that rally flag and be ready to go.
That's super cool. It's super cool.
And I think with all the synergies and mods that you now slot everywhere, I think it's such a time saver as well. Like it's much faster to get into the fun and like even strategize with if you're playing with a fire team and be like, how can we make sure that like we're all covering all the things that we need to cover for each encounter and each activity. So it's, yeah, super excited about it.
Huge time saver. I'm so excited for that because my fire team takes way too long in the tower to like figure out what they're gonna set up and what they're doing, and it's like, you guys, let's just go. Like, so I'm
Press
very
the solar button.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited for content creators as well, because I think one thing that's been difficult, you know, people will discover a great build and can be really hard to show off and to talk about. And this is just, hey, I just took a screenshot of one page, right? And here's everything you need to see on it, right? And then someone will be like, oh, okay, I can set that up. I can call it the flawless loadout, right? Like,
that's great. I like that. I might use it. Yeah, no, that's a great feature that you guys have added. I know as a creator, doing guides, sharing builds with the community, being able to just share it on the fly like that, it's going to make a lot of people's lives a lot easier. You can just click of the button, switch to an all Strand loadout. So let's go back to Strand. All right, are we getting Strand everything? Strand weapons, Strand armor? Like what's?
We're getting legendary and exotic Strand weapons.
Yep.
And I think that's all we can say.
Yeah, without someone from the weapons team appearing from behind one of these photos and taking us out.
They're in the building, you know they are.
They're watching. Okay.
One thing we haven't talked about though are the raids. So we have a new raid coming out this season. Well, new raid coming out this season, and then no one asked about Lightfall. I don't know.
I'm like on edge over here. Yeah, we definitely have not talked about the raids, Kat.
Yeah, tell me everything.
Can't really say much. There's a raid. Yeah, I mean, raids are obviously like one of our most cherished endgame activities, and so it's something that is coming for Lightfall. We'll have a brand new raid, a 6-man activity, as they've been. We're super excited about that, and we'll share more soon.
And then I think the thing that also we'll stay pretty cryptic about, people know is coming, is that Season 19, there's a whole brand new dungeon coming out, right?
Oh, right.
And again, sworn to secrecy here, like you'll find out when you find out, but I think that, you know, we've been really happy with the amount of Raids and Dungeon content coming out this year. We really want to make sure, as Guardian ranks and LFG come on, there's always just like a girth of PvE in-game content for you to sink into.
Yeah.
Really nice. And we talked about the raid. I'm assuming the Witness is going to be tied into that some kind of way. Can we talk anything about what we can expect from the Witness? Are we finally going to learn more about what the Witness's deal is?
Ooh, I can take this one. Yes, we will.
Okay. There you have it.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we'll find out about the Witness. All right. Anything else you're excited to share with us? Any insights from the team? Any tidbits you have for us?
I think one thing we haven't talked about, James, I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the gear that's waiting for on the helm, and I wanted to talk about, you know, today, right now, if you pre-order Lightfall, you get an exotic, and it's from Neptune, it sort of used a little bit of this 3D printing, Cloud Strider technology in this thing we call it Quicksilver Storm. And I think the weapons team has gone a little bit wild here because it is somehow an auto rifle that shoots bullets, missiles, and grenades.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to get my hands on that and start using that.
So we can get our hands on that right now.
Yep.
If you pre-order.
Pre-order.
Yeah.
Lightfall pre-order.
And the other thing Joe was mentioning, bringing players back into the fold in Destiny is always really, really important to us. And we know that, like, if you take a season off or you lapse for a little while, there can be a lot of work just to get back up to where you want to be. So, with this new season, you'll be able to go to Helm and grab like a chest that will catch you up now. So we're gonna have like a full set of gear in there, and it's gonna bring you up to the base power level for the season. We're also gonna have a special little exotic gift for you in there. So if you haven't gotten Thunderlord yet, now's your chance to grab that, and that's gonna pair nicely with Arc 3.0.
I think what's really exciting about that gear is it's not just about the power level. The systems team went in and they said, what does a good set of gear look like for a Destiny player? And so they've set you up with some legendary weapons, some mods in your armor, some Thunderlord, right? Then we really wanted anyone to be able to wear this and to be able to go into some match-made Nightfalls and people be like, oh, that's good. What you're wearing is good. And sort of have that confidence that as you get those better and better weapons, you have this baseline of like really just competent weapons and armor to go out and adventure in.
So yeah, we got Thunderlord coming back, and probably a bunch of new Arc weapons are going to get a nice refresh with the new season. Any weapons in particular y'all are excited to play around with this season?
Like I said, I love my Trinity Ghoul. So
Trinity Ghoul?
Risk Runner?
Risk Runner? That's not going to be a problem at all.
Not worth it.
Sweet. Well, season of Plunder is live right now. You can play it. But that's it all. That's all our time. I just want to thank all of you for taking this time with me, going on this journey. But right now, we have a trailer. We've seen it already. Let's watch it again. It's the Lightfall trailer coming to you right now.
When they see this glorious end, they will come for us. To savor the fruitless struggle to its last drop. It's who they are. Let them come and see. Our shape reveal what they do then. Unshackled from hope. That is who they are. Because only in the end are we free.
Welcome back, Andy. That was
a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff. And you survived your first encounter with Joe's glorious mustache.
I did it. I hope I wasn't staring too much.
I mean, if you were, he can't see it over all that hair. It's fine. You're good. You're good. I really liked what you guys were talking about, especially what you were going through with talking about Cloud Strider and Arc and Shran and Pirates. I can't wait. If anybody has seen the Pirates, you kind of look like Preston a little bit. It's a character. He's like, another settlement is waiting. And I'm like, I'm gonna get my settler on. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be epic. I'm gonna destroy enemies. It's gonna, in the nicest way possible. Kindness matters.
Destroy them in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, destroy them with love.
You know the thing I like about Preston is his outfit. And I know you love outfits too. You're about to talk about some outfits?
We're about to talk some outfits. I'm excited. I'm a big collector. If you don't know this about me, I have an entire shenanigans of collectible statues, replicas. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna die at a young age because I'm gonna die under hoarding. But it's really exciting. So like, I'm actually excited to go into the next segment because that's where we're actually talking with consumer products and getting our geek on.
Yeah.
I'll
let you get to that. I'll catch you later.
Dope. I will see you later. Hi, look at that outfit. I love it. I love it. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm amped off of this showcase, man. I just want to be a space pirate. Dreams do come true.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
Yeah. All right, before we go into this, because we're going to be talking about the Lightfall Collector's Edition, we're also giving away 10 Lightfall Collector's Editions because they're hefty boys. This giveaway is going to be, unfortunately, for North American audiences only. But if you do win in the chat, we do the Twitch drops, make sure you're in chat and engaging. And if you do win it and you're not in North America, that's fine. We'll get you a code. We'll set you up. We don't want anybody to feel left out. But enough about that, because I need to know about this. This is epic. Warlock, I'm Titan main myself, but I do appreciate myself a good, powerful Warlock. I like it. The beauty that is your lock.
Yeah, well, so who I am, I'm Ariel. I'm on the Bungie.net team. So pretty much anything that has to do with Companion, Twitch, the website, I've touched, looked at, helped out with, made sure it's a nice place for all of our players and viewers to go to and see everything about Destiny. But as far as like who I am wearing, I'm actually myself. I'm my Warlock in the game. I'm technically an Awoken, but I didn't want to wear body paint. So we're just gonna pretend that I'm actually a human.
We're super pale, so I feel like we could just be like, no, it's just a light shader.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It's just the lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked Wings of Sacred Dawn. This was like earlier in Destiny 2 because I really like throwing fiery swords at people. So I mean
obviously.
Mostly because of the helmet. I wanted to like murder a broom and just stick it on a helmet and then wear it around. And then apparently make like 160 buttons. I don't know, but I just really liked the whole thing together. So also Nebula Rose, best shader in my opinion.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Amethyst Veil is a close second. Although I will say we've had some pretty cool shaders in the last, I'd say 6 months particularly. Like the team made some, that photo finish one, the bright lights. I'm just saying it's pretty epic.
It's true. It's true.
I like it. And I feel like you don't even need an introduction with that outfit, but like, let's hear it. Who are you wearing?
I mean, I am our favorite shipwright, Amanda Holiday, queen of my heart. I love her so much. Yeah, I mean, she's a badass. She's, you know, the human who's like, I'm not a guardian, but I'm gonna run in and I've got your back the whole time. So I love her a lot. She's great, and yeah, I always want more Amanda love.
It's awesome. And anybody watching too, it's kind of cool because a lot of people don't realize that the same person that voices Amanda Holiday is Kaidal.
Oh yeah!
And I
always forget that.
Right? Isn't that like wild? Like you're so small and you're so big, and I love both of you. It's very confusing.
And especially when like Amanda the whole time is like really pissed at Kaidal because she's still not over the Red War stuff.
I mean,
it's fascinating.
I get it.
If you think about it, you're like, you're talking, okay.
It's fine. You know, we're here to make things not make sense. That's what we do. A
little bit.
That's the beauty of game creation is you can invent the rules while you go. I like it. But we are here to talk about the Collector's Edition. We're here to also just talk about like, we're all longtime Bungie fans. Like that's the big thing is Bungie, what makes it so special is that we are the players, we're the fans first, and then we just make the game on the side. And I don't think any of us have any chill whatsoever. And looking at like, I remember too when we have new like items drop in the Bungie store, we're all like, well, we're broke, but it's fine, we're pretty. We got cool shirts and stuff.
Here's my wallet.
Here's my wallet. So I just want to dive into that with you guys, especially you, Lorraine, because you work with the consumer products team and you really have a big hand in this. We're looking at the puka right now. We're finally answering the age-old question of what happened to that freaking fish. And so we have it. We're good. What else comes into the Lightfall Collector's Edition?
Well, there's some lore, you know, but anyway, like besides this wonderful statue, anyway, like the Collector's Edition is always this special thing, right? Like it's it's a good way to introduce players into the new expansion.
Yeah.
But you know, it's always a good way to bridge, you know, giving context to what you're going to be doing when you start playing.
Yes.
Lightfall.
Now, nice plug. I like it.
Lightfall. But yeah, no, the puka. Been dying to do something with the puka, and when it didn't show up in Beyond Light, we're like, oh, when? So
I think most of the players agreed with you on that one.
Yeah, no, we feel everybody's
We
pain.
feel it. We want to know where the
it.
puka is.
Yeah, so the puka. Oh my gosh. No, what was your question?
I mean, this is what happens when you get a bunch of nerds together. We get excited and then we lose track of thought. I just want to know what's in the Lightfall Collector's Edition. I know we released it, or we revealed it earlier.
There's a list somewhere. I didn't memorize it.
I don't want to talk about that. I just want to talk about the pretty fish, okay?
Well, we've got our lore books like we usually do.
There are 3 lore books in there.
We love lore.
Yeah, and then you're gonna get to know about the puka and the relationship with the stranger.
Yes.
We're gonna see something of the interview. Like, come on, when Osiris came out of
yes,
Ikora has to talk to him. We're gonna see that. It's really good.
So
it's
basically
really good.
prepare to
yeah,
cry.
try not to cry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
I'm gonna cry.
I
It's kind of what I do.
Yeah, and there's one more book now. I'm forgetting which one it is. Like it's Kaido. Yeah.
What? We're not gonna spoil it, but like apparently it's juicy by that
There's
one.
some good stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm a sucker for good lore.
It's good, and there are emblems and stuff like that. But yeah. Anyway,
love
that's
it.
what's in there.
That's great.
Get it.
Buy it. Buy 10.
I know I have to buy extra because my daughter wants it. So I want my own.
Yeah.
So I have to get extra one because my daughter wants one. And so no, my house is full of trophies.
I don't think anybody's gonna judge you for having a bunch of pukas. I think they're gonna just be mad jealous.
I mean, I have 4 penguins.
As you should.
Yeah. So.
I don't see the problem. That's great.
You're saying
thank
this
you.
like it's a negative. I'm sharing a positive. So when we're looking at this, Liz, one thing I really like, and this was the case with Witch Queen Collector's Edition too, is we kind of do weird collector's editions. We don't necessarily do what kind of everybody else does, and I like that because our game is very unique as well. Our players are very unique. So when looking at this is let's call it what it is. It's weird, but it's like pretty weird. Like you're weird, but you are weird. What goes into designing something like that?
So again, like the collector's edition is really special. It's special to us in consumer products. Like it's the one place where we get to play with an actual experience.
Yeah.
We're not just gonna make a statue. Well, we did.
I mean, we will just make a statue.
But it had to be this one. I'm losing the train of thought. I'm just like staring at the shiny.
It's hard. It's like a beacon. It's Gondor's calling for aid. The beacons are lit.
Yeah, I know. Definitely. Oh my gosh.
What do you guys think? This matches your guardian.
Yeah, we called each other this morning and we're like, yo, we got a match, okay?
One of us has to change, okay?
I have to change.
Why not twin?
That's fair, yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm gonna attach it to my shoulder when we leave.
As
No
you
one
should.
will expect anything.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It looks
We can
totally
make it fit.
normal.
There's a spot you could probably like hook it up into. There is. Perfect.
It's great.
Easy.
I love to, like with the Witch Queen campaign, you had to get the moths, you had to find it. And we've done that before. We did it with the Callus bobbleheads, we did it with this, we did it with the penguins. I love it, don't get me wrong. I love it because it's cute and I'm gonna buy like 10 and I'm gonna have no shame with that. But what was like, you know what, there's so many things we could do. We're gonna do this. And we're gonna make it spiffy. We're gonna make it pretty. What was that?
Oh my gosh. So the moth is one of the first times where consumer products and our world team actually collaborated on something. So for human settlements, it's easy enough to get like human relatable things, like a little figure, like plush, that kind of thing. But for Hive, there's no like human connection in there. So what are you gonna do, right? But we've always seen the little fluffy things floating around.
Yeah.
But what does that really look like?
As they try to kill us.
Yeah.
I always die. Anytime I do Wellsprings and I get hit with one of those, I'm like, I didn't die because of an enemy. I died because of a bug.
Yeah. And so we kind of went back and forth. It has to be cute.
It has to be
kind
cute.
And it has to be cute, but it still has to feel like it belongs.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of hard to do thinking of cute and then you're thinking of Hive. It doesn't really connect. But then we had to do the Hive Warm plush too.
Oh,
so,
do you?
I mean,
I never. I don't think I've ever pre-ordered anything faster.
I mean, come on, like we have to find ways to make it lovable. There are just these aspects of the world that we all like, you know, we want. Right, and in consumer products, we kind of tap into that. It stems from that love the game, and we want to create beloved souvenirs, you know, these shared experiences. So it's all about that.
I think
and
it's
the reminders, like totems of like joy.
Right, an experience. It's a trophy of your experience, but in a way that it's not like, good job, you did something. Congratulations. It's where like, this is cool. And then when people come over, one thing I love, because I have a lot of the helmet replicas that we sell, and like the Stein, the Guardians Game Stein, I was so excited about that.
Gosh.
And I love it too, because if anybody comes over and they see something like that, they're gonna be like, okay, why do you have why do you have a bug and why do I like it? And then you can actually like share your love of the game with them. And that's like such a cool connection point of just something random out in the wild to a game that, let's be honest, we're basically married to.
So the just a little anecdote. So the box for the moth. Beautiful moth there. Well, we got to put a screenshot of the moth in the wild, right?
Yes.
I went into the game and I'm standing in the pool where, you know, it's on the little plate.
Yeah.
And I was just following it around like, this has got to be the guy we're going to take a picture of to put on the box. And I'm just following it around.
That's weirdly wholesome.
I know.
I love it.
And I had to, like, you know, give instructions. Can you find the one in the pond? And then I need a higher screenshot of that. Can you go there? You know, you go up the long way in the throne world, and then it opens into this plaza.
Cosplay is just amazing.
Hello? No, the reason fucking that one connected. It's like 10 gig. Why are they banging on about all this shit in the door now? Just fucking spent a fortune on the collector. L drops. Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, you're not supposed to put out, I don't think. You don't need to put anything. Because the API is down, apparently. Why it's not. Yeah. Apparently. As long as your Twitch account is linked to your Bungie account, you're fine. Holy shit, you move unbelievably fast on Ark. Damn. Oh my god. How did you know it was me? Oh my lord. The speed boost is actually a ridiculous speed boost. Hi. Hi. Shit, I need to pre-order the fucking... No idea. If you pre-order the game today, you get the exotic from Lightfall. Yeah.